Physics Department and the interim chair of the Department of Physics. And tonight I have the great privilege, on behalf of the Department of Physics, to introduce a man who has for 28 years been emblematic of the term service in the Department of Physics and the University of Utah. Mr. Ziggy Peacock. Ziggy will soon be riding off into the sunset with his wife Beth, also a retired employee of the university, to fish, travel, and enjoy life. I just want to say one thing. I have a couple other things to say, but sort of, I was talking to one of my faculty colleagues earlier today, and he simply made the comment that any of us in the department should be so lucky as have a gathering such as this to mark their retirement. I don't think any of us can honestly say that this many people from this many walks of life, students and family and friends and faculty and community people, would show up for an occasion like this in such an enormous number to pay tribute to someone who has served the department and the university for so long. You should understand that the lecture demonstration collection in the physics department, most of which you see here in front of you, is the envy of most, if not just about every university in North America. There's 3,700 square feet of space back there and an immense variety of sophisticated pieces of equipment. It's all designed to make physics more tangible and accessible to the widest variety of students. Ziggy has played a key role in maintaining the vitality and usability of this area. The reason that it's so famous is that man over there. And everybody in the country would tell you that. Repairing and modifying the collection and introducing new and exciting demos for the courses. He has been a tremendous resource and a great friend to dozens of faculty members over the years, many of whom have taught in the various courses that use demonstrations. Now, I personally have worked with Ziggy on such courses every year of the 8 years that I've been here, and I'm grateful to have had such an interesting, friendly, and utterly competent colleague to assist me. Personally, I especially like the atmosphere and lecture demo before the big lecture courses start on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's like a production crew getting ready to put on a show, and the atmosphere can be really busy, raucous, intense, even a little testy at times. But it's mostly very collegial, and we have an enormous amount of fun. So Ziggy's been a relentless and jovial ambassador for the physics department through such activities as his innumerable public demonstration shows, such as we have here tonight, and his networking with other demonstration specialists and teachers at professional conferences and meetings. He has received numerous awards and accolades. I will mention just a few. The 1993 Staff Excellence Award. Halfway through his magnificent career here, that's a university-wide award in only the second year of its existence. Along with Sid Rudolph, who's also here tonight, Ziggy was responsible for bringing and managing the American Association of Physics Teachers annual meeting to Salt Lake City in 2005. In 2006, Ziggy received a Distinguished Service Citation. That's a career award from the AAPT. But I'm sure Ziggy would agree that his best awards are the innumerable thank yous from elementary school students and other groups that colorfully adorn the walls here if you walk through the lecture demo area. And the number of children in attendance tonight attests to his ability to make connections with people of all ages through showing them nifty things about the physical world. Then, of course, there are the university students. If you do the math, and we get paid to do the math, you can calculate that somewhere between 12 and 15,000 students have seen demonstrations done by Ziggy in 28 years. He has formed countless associations with many of these students, kept in touch with them after they leave. He's had a particularly special place in his heart for those students who are in reserve officer training here and go on to serve in the United States military. They come back in some cases many years later to say hello and to reminisce. By the way, there's a book, if you didn't see it, for everyone to sign outside. That's sort of a big card for Ziggy. I mean, we couldn't fit everything into a small card. And if you would like to add any thoughts to share with Ziggy, please do so by checking that out before the night's done. Our department will unquestionably be the poorer for losing Ziggy's day-to-day contributions to his health and vitality. But we wish him, of course, a long and healthy retirement. He has already assured me that he has no intention of completely disappearing from our midst. I strongly suspect that once in a while we will have the opportunity to catch up with his latest adventures over a beer in the lecture demonstration area, at Ed's, off campus, with a meal, while we talk about fishing or some new gadget or new idea for a cool demo. It's only fitting that tonight Ziggy closes his career here with one last demonstration show. So I've talked too long, and I am very honored at this point to give the floor to my colleague and friend, Ziggy Peacock.
That's Sid, by the way. You'll have the team who brought the conference to town. Hey, we'd like to do some demos today. We're going to start. We're not going to do a great deal of explaining because I got some extra demos out. And despite what Brian said about this being a large part of the collection, it's a very small part of the collection in reality. We have a lot of demonstrations. We could easily do a couple of thousand different with all the equipment we have back here. To start with, let's do something easy that you guys can understand. First of all, gotta get the magic finger ready here. 1, 2, 3. No good. 1, 2. Three's a charm. Okay. If we do this, we're never going to get through. What they do different the second time? So who saw? Who's watching? No? I tried to use 2 the second time, that's why I goofed up. Yes? Okay, what I did the first time was I hit it on the outside. What do you think is going to happen to the hoop if I hit it on the outside? It's going to go up. So the coin goes over here. And if I do it on the inside, right here, hoop squishes this way. You guys might want to watch these carefully. The head is not going to move. Body at rest, hands to remain at rest. We got 4, 5. We're still missing one over here. We'll get one more. Thank you. Okay. And now for the last thing. We'll have this one. See when you clear on the inside. Now this one, I do with eggies. Should we get your dad to help me, Marina? Yeah. Let's get your dad. Dr. Gurdon is one of our new members of the faculty, a man who, when teaching a 10-10 class, you know, physics for poets, Comes walking into the room, into the class, dressed in his scuba outfit. Stand over there if you would, sir. No, but you might get wet. So what we do is we knock this out from underneath it, right? Oh, okay, I'll do it properly. Okay, you might get the duck so. What's the other one? Inside. Oh, it's inside. Okay, on a completely different subject, this is a model of a star. When a star is starting to wind up and gain speed, our Earth is shaped like this too. Our Earth is rotating. So we have something rotating relatively slowly right now. Because I told it to make it large. Not only does it get bigger, but it also does what we call oblate. It gets fatter this way than it is this way because it's spinning and it wants to throw the mass out. It's like the ice skater, remember? Isn't that cool? Where'd Adam go? Oh, he's back there? No, we don't need to take that back. Adam, garbage sack. We got this kid in this orange shirt over here. Hey, he's going to do it. Come on down. This is my grandson. We didn't do that silly thing where you go Zig 1, Zig 2, and Zig 3. We're Zig J, Zig K, and Zig L. And Zig L is going to stand inside the garbage sack. Ta-da! Get down here. This is Zach. This is my other grandson. I want you to kneel down. You want to kneel down? Whoops. Here we go.
Miguel.
This is good practice. Okay. There. Now we're going to take the air out of the inside of this drum. You know, we can do some very scruffy math. If you take an area about that big, it's about a square inch. There's about 14 pounds pushing in, but there's 14 pounds inside pushing out. So everything's in equilibrium. We're going to disturb the equilibrium. We're going to take the air from the inside of here out, hopefully. It might be going. Bigger pump, bigger pump. I'm going to leave that one going while we do something else. Trust the assistant. A few adults too, a couple adults. You. Up here. You. Okay. The boys. Well, this is going to be really righteous. We're going to do girls. Girls. We gotta find girls. Right, this is my granddaughter, Jasmine. I need some bigger. Right. 1, 2, 3. Looking for one more. Yeah, one there. There we go. Okay. We got 2 teams. This should work real good. See, they come apart really easy. Now all I'm going to do is pump them out with a pump. Now I'm sucking the air out of here with a little tiny pump. And I've got there. So now I've just got 10 inches around. You see that black line in there? It's 10 inches of air missing. Now, what I want you guys to do is, why don't you step up here? And let's see. Let's get in the line. Woo! Okay, pull! The guys are winning and they've got socks on. Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, sit down now. Now, we can do the math really quick, but I'm not going to do it except to say that there's 1,100 pounds pushing on here, there's 1,100 on here, we've got about 2,200 pounds pushing just from the air. They cannot generate that kind of friction on the floor. That's why I was laughing, because one of the boys has got socks up, which is the exact opposite of what you want. And I think that that's about as far as the cam's going to go. Yeah. It ain't going to go any further. It's hollowed out. So, think for a moment, what would happen if you went out in space and did the opposite thing? You hopped out of the space shuttle? Exactly. Hot, blood and guts all over space. Remember that. Okay, now, let's have a little fun. We're also going to take some air out of something. Only this time, it's just going to be a tube. First I put ping pong. Oh. It's going the wrong way. Hey Adam, did we set this up the wrong way? No, I didn't. I got to put the ping pong ball in. Alright. I'm putting some tape over the end of the tube right now. This is going to make a seal. And all we're going to do is take the air out of this tube. Where did the tape go? Hey Adam, I need a screwdriver. I don't have my pocket knife. That's the one. Not quite. So we're going to remove the air ahead of the ping-pong ball. Take all of the air out of the tube. I'm going to let the air back in back here. And when I do, what was that all about? It just roached it. You gonna tell me I built this thing and it doesn't work? Now let's see. We've got some grease in there. Gotta clean it up, Howard. Right? By the way, while I've got the cap running, Harold Stokes, right here, wave your hand. Harold Stokes does this demo down at BYU. And he's noted for putting on an apron which has a target on it. And underneath the target he has a little pattern. But that wasn't enough for the Utah boys. That was a Harold. You got a nice bruise. Oh, I can take it. Find the best tail. Perfect. Let's go on this side. One hand. And the second can has the ball trapped inside it. We gotta try this one more time. Tape. I don't know what I do without these guys tell me where. On three. One, two, three. Oh man. I'm not even going. Dr. Gonzalo, where you at, Apollo? Apollo was stood on the other side of the room when I shot 3 cans and went through all 3 cans and just about nailed in. So I mean, who knows about it? Okay, we'll do a pencil while we're at it. This one. I don't know how this one. Pencil. In a hurricane down in the south, they find pieces of straw blasted through fence boards. What we've got here is a pencil and a sheet of plywood. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to accelerate the pencil quite fast. So anybody down there doesn't like loud noises, cover your ears. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Thing, and we're going to do it a slightly different way. Anybody out there shoot target? What's a bullet look like? They're generally
point to flat.
Flattish on the endish. Oh, that's right. You do. Okay. Yeah, you should. They're generally flat on the end. And the reason is they call them wad cutters, so that they will cut the paper and leave a distinct hole, which makes it easier to spot them. What we're going to do this time, we're going to shoot a pencil that has not been sharpened. I got a hole in the board. I got the pencil stuck in the clay. And the pencil's gone right through cleanly. I can usually get this to line up. There we go. And you can see it's fairly free to move inside there. And what the reason for that is it chops its way through rather than spreads the grain, which is what is happening here. It spread the grain, and then the grain has collapsed back on the pencil, and so it's jammed in there halfway through. Now, I'm going to put a little methane gas in here. Your job, should you choose to do it, is to tell me when the flame goes out. And in the meantime,
No, don't leave, Zig.
don't leave.
I'm worried about you.
What's the matter, Joe? You know what's going on, Joe? This way I can do it out front. I'm going to do some more stuff with air. How's the sound when you get all the way from this balloon to your ear? Huh? Sound waves. What did you say? No, it's never mind. Okay, so now I buy big balloons. Huh? So you don't need to put your fingers over your ears now. Okay, so now what we're going to do, what do you suppose happens when all those molecules that are bouncing around in here slow down? It's going to pop, gets harder, going to get bigger, and smaller, smaller. You changed your mind? Oh, okay, changed his mind. It's going to get smaller. All right, let's see. Got to bump a little. Sounds more like a sack, grocery sack, doesn't it? Okay, so you guys down at the front, tell the rest of the guys, what can you see right there? A dark spot, water. It's actually the breath that I blew out of my lungs into the bag. It became liquefied, and now what I'm doing with my hands is, what am I doing with my hands? Heating it up. Right now I've got a cloud in there. See if I rub the fog off the outside. You can see there's a cloud in there because the pressure is a little bit higher than the outside and the air is moist. Fire's out? Oh, I can still see it. Not quite there. Little teeny. So anyway, cool, eh? Very cool. Still see the fire. This is a very expensive piece of apparatus. I think it came with something I bought. It's an empty paint can. It has a hole in the bottom, a hole in the top. I filled it up with methane, and the methane, under circumstances where I've got, an almost pure methane atmosphere in there, you saw a white flame coming off the top. As it got less and less methane in here, more and more air, so I was approaching a good mix. Then the flame started getting darker and darker and bluer, and it kept getting smaller and smaller, and then finally, the inside of the can attained something like a 14% mix of gas to air. And at that point, it detonated. And a few years ago, some kids got in here and turned on the gas over the weekend. And we could have taken out like Kingsbury Hall and several other places. Okay. You've all heard about the den of nails. I need something else back here. This is a normal occurrence under when we do like chamber. And Mr. Miller. This young man just put off his assignment in a couple of days, moving to his new assignment as an officer in the Navy, so he could be here. I'm very honored. Right now. 1, 2, 3. Any more? No, these are brand new, just going to the fleet, guys. Well, no, you two guys have been in the fleet already. Okay, so what we have here is some nails. And you'll note that the clay stuck to the nails nicely. Drop it in, still sticks. So, what do you suppose is going to happen if I lay on this thing? We're going to get Grandpa to help us. He's going to stand at the back.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Stand at the back and hold your hand for me. That's all you meant to do. This Grandpa's going to get on top of the nail. And that is going to do the rest. We're not going to put you on the spot. By the way, this is a friend of mine. Earl is the manager of the bookstore here. Drum roll. Now we need someone to hold on to their hand. I thought it'd be awfully nice if you. Time to take a nap. Gonna have a heavy blanket. Blanket coming up. Feels good. You know, there's these guys in India that call themselves bakers. They spell it wrong. They spell baker with an I. Ta-da! Okay. Should be hard. Okay. What's going on? Says Hunter. Wow! Okay, we'll show you what's going on. Environmentally friendly and safe. talk about action and reaction fairly early in the semester, so this is a demo which comes out fairly regularly. It's very high-tech, very expensive. We have a piece of fishing line, steel fishing line, goes to the back of the room in the booth. And we have a 2-liter bottle with a piece of metal glued to it, a double tape. We need a little alcohol. Not the kind you drink through it. And hold the bottle. By the way, I forgot to introduce Adam Wheeler is my replacement. Comes to us from the great state of Kansas. His last job though was over in Colorado State. But Ziggy can't be replaced, so I'll just claim to be his heir. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'll do this. Leave backdrop. And Brian. Brian. Yeah, Brian. It's Brian. Yeah. Over there about 10, 15 feet. Yeah, I don't do it. 6 or 7, 8. Yeah, let's move you guys and these guys. You can sit over on the floor for just a moment. It won't be that very long. And we'll come back. Yeah. Besides, you can't see back there. She includes you guys. Yeah, go around. Okay. So this is the infamous monkey shoot. We have a little bullet. And we usually like to do this with a ball. We seem to be missing somebody though. Loaded. We got a ball. That's why I moved these guys over here, because sometimes the ball goes. Cougar. You two want to move over there too? Okay, this time we should have power. Okay, so the monkey's sitting in the tree. Oh, you know, we can draw this. I'm quite the opposite. Right? Wind's been blowing a long time from that direction, right? Over here we have the hunter. Got his rifle. All right, we haven't got to the head yet. Rifle. We got a head, a little hat. No, they all have hats on, right? But over here in the tree, fat monkey. Dude's got. And he's got his sweatshirt on, obviously. And he's hanging in the tree and he says to himself, you know, If I keep my eye on the hunter, he's going to shoot, and I'll just let go of the tree and drop, and he'll miss me. Because the bullet will just go right over the top of me. What do you think's going to happen to little monkey? In this case, he's a ball. I like the way he's dead. Okay, 1, 2. See that?
Maybe.
Maybe.
No, I think I did.
You don't want me to shoot it again?
I don't think
You don't want me to shoot it again? Sit down and have a bullet. We'll shoot it again. But you know what? I really do have come in here because we went to all the trouble of photographing and making a overhead projection transparency of the parking ticket I got while trying to buy it. Oh, we can't. We were going to put it there. We can't. It's just the wire in the way. Okay, it doesn't help. It doesn't help a bit if it's wiggling side to side because then the bullet could go this way or this way. So we need to have it at least still. And what you'll notice is, watch carefully, this is really cool. This whole apparatus goes this way when the bullet goes that way. Oh, we moved it over here? Okay. Now I have to apologize to the guys from the Y. Yeah, right. They shoot a Utah guy down there. Okay. It says right there, First Defense don't like to be seen in Provo. That is honest to goodness copy of the one I sent back to them. Okay. We need a little bit more air here. We're going to blast this little fellow. Okay. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's it for this room. What I'm going to ask you to do is move on to the other side. However, what I do want to point out is the front row is my family. And then this concrete section right here, fair game. So, you guys, the family go across through here. And then the rest of you, you can go out in the back there and go into the room across the hall. Room 1. Sounds okay? Okay. All right, we're going to do some things on sound. I need to move the people in the doorway and close the door for just a moment. Because the wind currents from the back room mess this demo up. Matches? Yep. What I've got here is a 10-foot long tube, and I have 240 holes in it. And we're going to make a giant birthday cake. It's a giant birthday cake, which isn't going to light this year. If I light this head, I don't think. Fine? Good. Only this, I'm going to go ahead. What I'm doing is in this on end, so it's making a stand. If you see our 7 waves on there, 4, 5, 8. Doing this. Really the last easy one. Special demonstrations around the sound area. One of the favorite demos loved by lots of these games from one particular one. Last year, on the day before giving on the way, and started looking out of the window of the university when we happened to notice a string of fire trucks go up around the circle. That's not a good sign. It's not bad if they keep going straight on past Kingsbury, but when they turn up the street and start heading towards the math building, you think, oh, good, there's a medical emergency in math. I started walking back to the building a few minutes later, and we have to notice that the fire truck stopped outside the building. They got all the way to the end of the street, and we were now getting a little worried. It turns out that the last demonstration like this, which was a beautiful piece of concrete form tube, was detonated. And tonight we have the person who did it. It is named Foreign. It is the gondolo. For those of you who can't see, I'll turn it. See. And the instructor who did this will be the master of ceremonies tonight. He will light it. So I'll get everything ready, and we'll have Dr. Gondolo come down. In all fairness to Paulo, the last one was 20 years old, and it was made of a concrete form tube which was lined with a plastic material that didn't burn, but the rest of the tube was cardboard. And it had, we did have a little bit of smoke and a few pieces come out of here early. So he wasn't to be too highly blamed. I'll turn it. Cracky moment to light match for you. Slide it. Okay, go for it. Oh. What happened? Now, what I guess I should have explained is that Dr. Gondolo is a theorist. Now what will happen is this tube will have standing waves. And the standing waves are a nice rumbling 55 hertz. Now that in perspective, that's really, really low. Heaters can't get there. So out there, you can hear this really loud, like I can right here. It's still right here. But if I move over to about here, flat, and then sets up a room these standing waves, and they're all in odd positions. And they start them over again. Because it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun for the next 20 years. Okay. Sound. We're going to break the speakers. That wasn't very good, was it? That's better. That's even better. That was about there. So at the end of what's happening is with this whip. Thank you, Ted. The end of the whip, when you hear that crack, it exceeded the speed of sound. And at that point, the air has gotten very messed up. Keep myself on tape. I had to buy this in a cowboy store in Wyoming. It's a lot of fun. You can always walk into a test. You know, you got a class full of students in here. They're all about to take a test. And you walk through the room, and you only have to do this once. And you ask them, anybody want to see what happens when I do a little cheating check? The big tube resonates at about 55 hertz. These guys are a buck, and they're really cool. If you get a bunch of these that are different lengths, you can actually get together and have like a little chorus of these things singing. Into the cool category again. This is nothing more than a piece of wire attached to some fiberglass at the end of a piece of what looks like concrete flooring. What's happening is the waves that are being generated by my wiggling of this thing are wiggling and they're vibrating this, which is more or less a drum hit. And so it just starts wiggling it, vibrates, and it bounces like thunder. Isn't that cool? This little guy was brought by George Williams, who's another one of my favorite instructors here. George brought this back from Nepal. It's called a prayer bowl. And you have a little stick. I can get this going fairly loud. But what you'll notice is every once in a while it goes boom. What's happening is I'm chasing a wave around the bowl with this wood stick. And as I chase it, if I go too fast, I catch up with it and it goes because it's really bouncing right there. Okay. That's pretty cool. Really cool. I think a lot of will not work. So I have to have my hands nice and clean because then it's stick and stop, stick and stop, stick and stop, just like a ball on a violin string. So now I've made a really good mess. We need to clean it up before we do electrostatics. This is called the Chinese singing bowl. They were invented by some monks in about the 11th century. So this is about 1,000 years old. Stuff in that back room that you know about. Okay, we're still on the subject of resonance and waves and sound. What we're going to do is, the first thing I've got set up is we're going to break some glass. Let's see if I can break some glass. So, Ed, you guys might want to move a little bit. Yeah, good. You guys see the green spot on the wall? I got it bouncing off the glass right here. If I put my finger, you can see that. So what I'm going to do is start this vibrating. What I have in here is 2 speakers. And it's a speaker box. I have 2 speakers and they're doing this in unison. So they're kind of squeezing the air in the middle and sucking it out and pushing it out. And there's some holes up above here that each one of them is puffing at just the right time. And if I get this just right, okay. There we go. Start to move over there. What's happening is, as this is moving over on the wall, what we're seeing is the vibration of the piece of glass on here. And as it is waving here, it's making the laser go wider, give a longer splash of red, green on the wall. So I'm going to keep going, move a little bit further. Let's see what I'm doing. Now just to make sure that wasn't a fluke, let's do it one more time. Got a little piece of glass handy. Perfect. So shatter glass with sound. One of the last demonstrations in this area we'll be doing is one this one I need a little bit different frequency. What was that? One thing I hate about this particular piece of equipment is it really slows it moving from one point to another. What I want the plumbers, if there's any of the plumbers here, to know is this is what I did with all that pipe I was plumbing off. Get this to resonance again. Only this time I've got standing waves going on in there, and it goes quieter, it goes louder, quieter, louder. Let's see. Yeah, we're at the end. You can hear how much quieter it is now. This is called Quinkie's tube. It is almost impossible to find anything about Mr. Quinkie because his brother was more famous than he was. And every reference you find is for some physician in Germany in the 1850s. It's not the brother that we wanted to find out about. Oh, this one is awesome. Okay, what I have here is a little old fish tank with some water in it and two playing cards. It just happens one's a jack, one's a king. Right? Nothing there. No fancy, nothing hiding. What we're going to do is put them in the water tank. I want you to tell me what happens. This one disappeared? Really? It's gone? It's there. I didn't see it. Did it disappear out there? Good. We should have done that. Just put this out of here. We'll do it again. It's there. And you see a mirror? Wow. And the other one's gone? Did the other one go? That one's a mirror? And that's the jack? Which one can you see? The king. Okay, I'll tell you what we did. For one with better excuse, it is an optical illusion. What we've got is the jack has Adam. I'm almost certain that the king has the priest. That's what I thought. The king has a thin layer of grease on it, which allows it to make a really good contact with the plastic and also with the water, so that it doesn't form another layer, another boundary for the the light to go through. So on this side, we have nothing. And so that's why you see a mirror very often on this side first. It's because the air is in between there, and the light is just bouncing off it to your eyes. And we do that one more time as we head out the door. Ignore this for a moment. Let's see. I forgot something on the table. What I have here is one of the very early demos I built. I got it out because it's cool. This one is one of the first uses in classroom demonstrations of a laser. And we did several other things, but this one was the one that actually bought me a chunk of fame. Because you can actually see the plane of polarization. The laser is polarized like our sunglasses, or some of our sunglasses. And so it's rotated. And what we've got, the light is in one plane when it comes out of the laser. As it goes into the carob syrup, it is rotated. And at this point you can see, darker there, son? Yeah. Left? Other way. Okay, so it's, you've got a dark spot here, you've got a bright spot here, and a dark spot, and so on, as it goes across there. So what you're actually seeing is the E field, which is the electric field. Part of the light is being rotated, and you're seeing this thing rotate in time. What's carob syrup does it about every 4 inches or so. Anyway, I have to show that in this very cool old demo. It's a little historical in my perspective. How many kinds of electricity do we have? 2? 3? Okay, Jazz, you're right. There's 3 kinds of electricity. Now, what's the first one? Static. Yeah, that's the one where you go slide across the car. There's that mom. It's not much use for anything. It's static. It isn't going anywhere. That's what the word static means. Yes, E. We still have 2 up. So it's 3. There you go. Eli's one of my grandsons. Okay, so you can't do a thing that's absolute, static's useless. But with the aid of Hank Flamingo, I have a bag which the turkey roasts in at Thanksgiving. Ta-da! We're moving onward. Can you imagine that? Lowe's would love this. And of course we can do this with the technical devices which we use in physics. The black rubber rug, the fur. Some poor animal gave us life. But you can see we're doing it. So it's not that impressive, really. It's just a piece of wood. And that's the trouble with static electricity. It's just not that impressive unless you get lots and lots and lots of exact amount. Okay, what are the other kinds of electricity? There's two more. AC, DC, rock and roll girl here. Okay, the first is, we're going to talk about is DC. And DC made by moving a coil past a magnet. And believe it or not, you guys can see that too over there. Very good. How about you guys over here before I finish? Check that. Up to that. Move the meter. Well, you know what? You can move the magnet. It goes both ways. You can move the magnets, you move the coil, so you can make electricity. You can do that anytime you want. You can build these things called generators and have power anytime. Well, a guy named Michael Faraday came up with that idea. The Chinese gave us magnets about 5,000 years ago. But Faraday took till about 150 years ago to come up with the idea of how to produce electricity anytime at will. And we can show the different kinds of electricity to some extent. In fact, one of them you guys already know about. What is DC that you deal with every day? Direct current. What was that? I heard someone say it over here. Batteries. It was batteries. Okay, there's batteries in our car, our Walkmans, our whatever. There's batteries throughout our life. The stuff that comes out of here is the other one. AC. Alternating current. And what you got going on with alternating current is this finger right here. 0. Right there. This one's going to do what the AC is. Okay, the AC starts at 0, goes down to minus 110, up to plus 110, up down to minus 110, and it does that 60 times a second. Now, I saw one of the electricians in here, and they'll probably argue over me that it's RMS. The truth of the matter is the general intent. It's going up and down 60 times a second. And that's a key thing. And I'm going to show you how that's done. How you can see that. Plug this in. What I have here is another one of Sydney's favorite demos, and I can understand why, because it's a huge bang for the buck. I mean, the whole demonstration costs less than 20 bucks to build. But what have I got there? A light? What color is it? Orange? Is it still orange? It's orange and green, which means that at one moment the electricity is lighting that bulb up and it is red. And then when it changes direction, it is going green. Whether it's positive or negative doesn't matter. It means that the electricity is following that line that I said, that curve. It's going up and down. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. What you'll also notice is that the Utah Power light gyps us because we only get electricity about 90% of the time. There's about 10% when it's black and there's no electricity flowing. Okay. Now, before I'm done with this, I've got one more demo left on here. I need to go back and talk a little bit more about static electricity, because we can make static electricity anytime we want. And what we have here is a static electricity maker. And see it? Sounds just like zapping. You will note that I did not use my fingers, my end of my nose, or my ears. They're very sensitive. They've got lots of nerves in them. So what I did was catch the electricity with either my elbow or the back of my hand, where there's a lot less nerves and it doesn't hurt. That's why you zap your own mom on the ear or the end of the nose. Okay, so we can do some cool things with this. And my granddaughters, Haley, Jasmine, oh, there's Trin. And Trinity, we're going to have a little hair demonstration. A hair raising demonstration. We can make Trin go first. Do you want to go first, Trin? You're just going to put your hand up on there. So grab it. Okay. Put your hand there. Don't take it out until I say. Shake your head a little bit. Shake your hair a little bit. Like this. Do that. Just a little bit. That's it. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, well, don't shake the head. Okay, let Grandpa do it. Don't kick him. Thank you very much. Who's next? She's next. Oh, we're going age-wise. You're next. She's the tallest, but she's... Here, stand on this. Well, I need to move it a little bit. There we go. Don't take it off until I tell you. Shake your head. There we go. A little bit more. You watching yourself? Oh, the negative skirt's going up. A bit more? No? No more? Got it? Okay. Yours is going good already. Just start shaking it a little bit. Just a little. Bit more. Bit more. Kick's pretty good. More. That's instructed over there. I know that voice. Pretty cool, huh? Ready? Ready? You want to stay there some more? Okay, she said, I'm going to stay there some more. Shake your head some more. Really good. Really good. Give a really good shake. Is it going sad? Is that Grandpa on a finger? Okay. Okay, this is a very famous demo. We have a coil of wire. This is what is called a core. Inside it is a lot of thin round wires, all compacted in there. And when you put a ring on there, put your something's wrong. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm through cheating. What I've got is a ring, and this one has a little gap in it. In fact, I can take the other ring and hang it on. And when you've got a gap like that, where electricity likes to go from somewhere to somewhere, when it runs into the gap, it's like it ran into a brick wall. It isn't going anyplace. This ring is complete, and so it jumps. And going back to something we did earlier, what do you suppose will happen if we cool this? Higher? What, yeah, exactly. What happens to the resistance, electricians? It goes down, current goes up. This should go further. That's enough yakking. Let's do it. I have to wait till it quits boiling in here. It's in liquid nitrogen. We go down to liquid nitrogen temperature, which is 88 degrees Kelvin. That's 325 degrees below zero Fahrenheit. Hey, Tom. While I see Wayne, raise your hand, Wayne. Wayne is my counterpart down at BYU. There are times when I've had a request made of me down here, and I don't have something. The notable cases was one of the videos a few years back. And Wayne made me a copy of his videos so that I could show it up here. And that's important that we have this sort of good friendship going on, that we can trade ideas and trade equipment back and forth on necessary occasions. And one of the things that I was involved in very heavily was an organization that got all the guys like ourselves together nationally. The other thing that I worked with, and has been one of my life's work, is a thing called bibliography. It's just a book with all the demos that anybody can pick up and look at it. Not only can they find the demo, but they can find articles about the demo on how to build it, or whether it's worth building even. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we chuck things up in the air with electricity. Let's see what happens when I take a magnet. This is just what's called a neodymium boron iron magnet. New magnets are about 250 times stronger than the old stuff we had. And I'm just going to put it in there. And where'd it go? There it is. You saw it. You saw it. We're in the green. You saw it in the green part. This green part right here, for those of you who can see. Ooh, I just made a mistake. This green part right here is some material that we call magnetic viewing film. What you'll notice is when this magnet gets down to here, that it will start changing. And you see a line go right through. There as it goes. What's happening is the magnet is moving down because gravity is pulling it down. But when it's a moving magnet, it's producing an electric field. We just talked about that where I was moving the magnet and coil. This is the same thing. We're moving a magnet down. It generates a magnetic field which is opposite to it's opposite to that gravity thing that I talked about first. So I got two of them that are fighting each other. And it's slowing itself down as it goes down through this. And isn't there something else related to this? The big one. I knew that. I'm cracking up. Because I've done a lot of demos today. a demo that was first shown to me. I was over at Adams School. I was over in Colorado State. But we had a special guest speaker. His name was Doug Osheroff. Doug got a Nobel Prize, and he's one of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. And he comes into this meeting, and he's just so excited because he'd seen this demo somewhere, and he thought it was just the coolest thing. What I have here is a large neodymium magnet, neodymium iron boron magnet, and there. And I'll just drop it on top of that copper. Now, copper isn't a ferrous material. It's not supposed to have any magnetic reaction whatsoever. But what's happening is, as I move that magnet towards it, it produces an electric field in the copper. Because I have the copper extremely cold, liquid nitrogen temperature, everything's getting nicely ordered in there, and it's producing a bigger effect when I do this. And so if I drop this on the side, it slowly sits down, and if I put it at the right angle, it'll actually slowly lay down. If I take this and spin it, it'll sit there and just slowly come down on top. Now, to give you an idea of what's going on, I'm going to keep this so that I'm not quite touching the magnet. And you can see that I can pull it apart with me, or in this case, push it. The other thing we have to watch out for is we don't like to give these magnets random willy-nilly to the faculty because it'll stick them to something, or get their fingers in between. And it will, those magnets are capable of smashing fingers and doing severe damage. You have to be very careful. What I have here is a demo that I've had sitting on my bench for about the last year and a half. A friend of mine down at the College of Eastern Utah, Ed Cadellis, actually suggested this after I had been talking about it on the internet. We've been chatting about different things. Most materials have a thing called a Curie point. And a Curie point is generally hot. If you heat a magnet up, it will reach a point at which it becomes non-magnetic. And that's because the little doodads inside there, the atoms, have randomized themselves. They've gone from a semi-ordered state to a random state. Now what I have here is some stainless steel, which is cooling down, and it's just about there. And this stainless steel is not magnetic. In fact, you can see from this piece that it's very, very little strength to that magnet. That magnet right there is one of the neodymium ones. And if I take a fairly small piece of stainless, I can get it to attract. But if I take a long piece, which has been magnetized, it will stay there for just a moment and then falls off. Why did it fall off? It got too warm. And you can actually, if you're up here close to it, you can actually see the heat travel down the rod, and you can predict exactly when it's going to drop off. And that's a new demo I put together last week, this week, when I started putting that together. I had to chop those pieces off a great big sheet and then machine them. Okay, that's everything on there. Okay, ready to go with what's nothing more than they're good. I'm glad because, hey, here. Ready to hit play? Okay. We're going to do the very last demo, which is Mr. Tesla. What was the guy's name that got electricity and light to our home? Edison. Thomas Edison. Very good. I love that answer because it's completely wrong. It was Westinghouse. But more important than Westinghouse, it was a guy named Nikola Tesla. Tesla was a wacko. I mean, he had some fantastic ideas, not the least of which is how we get electricity to our homes through the plugs right here. He said you do an AC. Edison said no way and killed an elephant with AC to prove it. He killed an elephant and killed untold numbers of rabbits and turtles and God knows what else, trying to disprove Tesla. But it turns out that Tesla sold the idea to George Westinghouse. George Westinghouse put AC all over the country, made a fortune, and the rest is history. However, Tesla had another idea. He said, we can transmit energy to your homes using an antenna, and then each home has an antenna. Now, a variation on that would be something along this line. What I have here is I'm going to have a little music. Dr. Rudolph gave us this idea. Let's go. Sound is back to the old wave. An AC, because we're vibrating something, we're moving it back and forth. That's why we can hear it. Yes. We're getting there.
Well, Zig, thank you once again for a great show. There's a couple other items of business that we have to attend to before we have ice cream waiting across in the other lecture hall. So, we do our best here in the Department of Physics to acknowledge our great history, no more so than by honoring past members of the department who have contributed uniquely to its life and vitality. The rotunda of JFB houses 2 lecture halls named for Urban Swigert. That's this lecture hall. Oh, no, that's the opposite lecture hall. And this one is Thomas Parmley. These are 2 of our most distinguished professors and teachers. Their portraits hang in these lecture halls. We thought that it would be only appropriate to honor Ziggy in a similar fashion. We also realized that the portrait had to be more appropriate. We have commissioned John Erickson from our own art department here at the university to do a special portrait drawing of Ziggy. This drawing will be wonderful. This drawing will be hung in some prominent place here in the JFB Rotunda in honor of Ziggy, and so that we all acknowledge and remember his absolutely fantastic contribution to our department and to the university over the years. We also have one other gift for you as part of Ziggy, and hi, we have that. So we'd like to present Ziggy with this telescope as a token of our high esteem on the occasion of his retirement. So thank you very much.
Done a lot of demos over the years, and to be perfectly honest with you, the first few minutes as I get started, there's butterflies the size of elephants bashing around in my gut. But the most important thing of all is the fact that everybody out there feeds me, and I'm gone blank over for the next hour doing the demonstration. I love doing them. I just hate completely.
As I said, I hope you'll be able to join us for a brief reception. We've got some ice cream and things for the kids across back at the other lecture hall, so please feel free to join us.